In the last 3 years, the Philippines and its people have entered a new phase. Statistics and international news point to a rise in important economic figures: the GNP, the investment grade rating, the stock market. All indicators point to a forward movement for the country. The good news never stops. Charging forward and absorbing the energy of an upward Philippines, the Pag-IBIG Fund in the last 3 years has become bigger, better, and faster. Today's Pag-IBIG Fund is chaired by no less than the Vice President of the Republic, His Excellency Jejomar C. Binay. Taking cues from his no-nonsense work ethic and long-running concern for the common folk, his vision for the fund has introduced several reforms in its policies to serve more and more Filipinos in the best way possible. However, his assumption to office was at a time when the exemplary image of the fund was being questioned. A controversy triggered these changes during Pag-IBIG Fund's transition in 2010. The best of times sprang from the worst of times.
I assumed office in November of 2010, and the new board assumed office around the third quarter of 2010. Pag-IBIG Fund was in the middle of Senate and Congress investigation. Of course, also that controversy made a dent in the name and image of Pag-IBIG Fund. And in most part of the history of Pag-IBIG Fund, talagang napakaganda at malinis yung pangalan ng Pag-IBIG Fund. So except for this controversy, so at that time the focus for the first 6 months was really putting in place the necessary changes for our housing loan program, because that exposed the vulnerability of the fund. At pag ang tiwala ay napagdudahan o nasira, yun ay kahit nasa anong relationship natin sa buhay, yun yung medyo kailangan ng panahon, kailangan ng mga konkreto na pagbabago para maibalik ang tiwala. They must be able to rely on the Pag-IBIG Fund management that we will be able to administer their fund well, properly, with integrity, and with competence.
The commitment to change has been reaping sweet fruit. For the last 3 years, it has begun to rain superlatives. Interest rates are at their lowest ever, made possible as Pag-IBIG chose to rationalize the interest rates for all housing loans. And because of Republic Act 9679, membership rose dramatically in the last 3 years, noting its greatest membership growth in its 33 years of existence. The rise in membership translated to a rise in contributions. Coupled with collection operations that are made more efficient, the Pag-IBIG Fund has posted net income at an all-time high of 16.25 billion pesos. The rules of Pag-IBIG require that 70% of its net income must be credited to the members' accounts as dividends, and 70% of net income translates to a dividend of 10.03 billion or 4.17% dividend rate for 2013.
Dati kasi nung dumating kami ng 2010, meron na kaming board-approved resolution na itataas na yung monthly contribution from 100 pesos magiging 200. And that's the easiest and fastest way to make a fund bigger. Kung imamandato natin na lahat na tayo doble na yung i-contribute. Subalit, ang sabi ng aming chairman, si Vice President Binay, at saka ng board, it is not the right time to increase the monthly contribution, generate more members so that more members will contribute to the fund, so you'll have a bigger fund. Bigger fund, better services, faster operation. Sapagkat ito ang vision ni Vice President Binay and the board.
The Philippine government saw a new champion as Pag-IBIG secured an ISO certification in 2011 in the fastest record time for a government agency of 3 months and 19 days. And for 2 years now, Pag-IBIG has maintained its ISO certification, not an easy feat.
Kasi sa Pag-IBIG Fund, subok ko na ang serbisyo nila. Dati-rate, 3 million lang ang nalolow ng mga miyembro ng Pag-IBIG. Ngayon, 6 million na. Dati-rate, meron tayong Pag-IBIG 1. Ngayon, may Pag-IBIG 2 na tayo. Kasi ang buhay ko ay kakabit na ng Pag-IBIG Fund.
Modified Pag-IBIG 2 Savings Scheme is a voluntary savings program for active fund members that has higher yields and shorter terms. Pag-IBIG makes sure that this and all their other programs are made known to more and more Filipinos by also enlisting the help of what they call fund coordinators.
Itatawag ko lang, ma'am, pwede na po ba mag-loan to kasi nakalabas na yung ulo ng bata, manganganak na po. Sige, gagawa natin ng cheque, i-ano mo na kagad ang form. Mas malaki ang inyong contribution, mas malaki ang ma-avail yung loan. Diba? Kailangan, kaya sabi ko sa anak ko, anak, nasa Canada ang asawa mo, lahat ng pera mo ipasok natin ngayon sa Pag-IBIG Fund. So kahit yung mga nasa abroad, ini-encourage ko na mag-member sa Pag-IBIG 2. Dahil meron tayong Pag-IBIG 2, di ba?
The fund has also partnered with employers who could cascade the benefits of Pag-IBIG membership to their employees.
Because apparently our population is very young, fresh graduates, new hires, so they haven't got anything tangible yet about Pag-IBIG. So we introduced to them the concept of Pag-IBIG and what Pag-IBIG is all about. We invited 2 speakers from Pag-IBIG. Apparently, all the employees were really very interested to find out what Pag-IBIG is, especially the loan availments, especially the membership. So we got good feedback out of the orientations. Afterwards, we cascaded to them this new project of Pag-IBIG, the MP2.
Partnerships with different sectors help Pag-IBIG facilitate the implementation of their programs.
So, ang Pag-IBIG Fund, naniniwala kami sa mga partnership. So, example, halimbawa, kapag ka-partner namin ang local government, yung nag-a-apply sa kanila ng business permit to conduct business in their locality, they will also require the Pag-IBIG registration as an employer and for the employees to be Pag-IBIG members. We strongly believe that by partnering with government agencies, we act as one government. We share our databases, so we share our database with the BIR to make sure that we are capturing our members. Sa SSS and GSIS, we also share the same information exchange. Just establishing the linkage that really improves our position and our opportunity or the power to dispense the benefits that we have for our members.
This partnership between Pag-IBIG Fund, Hanjin, and Fiesta Community was brought about by the needs for Hanjin for a developer or a contractor to do the housing project for them. Napakaganda ng synergy, napakaganda ng pagtutulungan ng Pag-IBIG Fund because they are also committed under our agreement that they will be providing for the financing not only of the end user but also to support the developers.
Ang gusto ng management, it's just like alagaan mo yung mga empleyado mo. Kung binigyan mo sila ng bahay, binigyan mo sila ng matitirhan, disenteng pamumuhay, free na eskwelahan, kasi hindi na sila makakaisip ang umalis. Bakit po Pag-IBIG? Kasi po, pag sinabi mo po kasing Pag-IBIG, alam po natin na, alam ng mga tao, hindi mo na kailangan sabihin na mababa lang po yung interest. And lahat ng empleyado namin, mandatory, all employees in the private sector should be a Pag-IBIG member.
Siyempre po, masasabi ko po ngayon na maganda po yung future namin. Unang-una, may maganda po kaming trabaho. At isa ho, pinakamalaking pagpapala, binigyan niya kami ng magandang bahay sa pamamagitan po ng Pag-IBIG Fund at ng Hanjin Village o ng Hanjin Company. Nabigyan niya po kami ng sariling bagamat it's a salary deduction, pero sa gayong paraan po, nagpupuri pa rin kami, nagpapasalamat sa Panginoon dahil binigyan niya kami ng pagkakataon upang matupad yung pangarap at future ng aking anak.
Elsewhere in the world, Pag-IBIG continues to forge more solid partnerships.
In 2009, RA 9679 was enacted, which expanded the coverage of the program to cover OFWs. And because we wanted to reach out to all our OFWs who are abroad and are about to be deployed, we partnered with POEA to ensure that lahat ng ating mga OFWs ay mako-cover ng Pag-IBIG Fund. Initially, we wanted the OFW to remit yung kanyang 6 months savings in advance. So, as you know, ang minimum savings lang naman sa Pag-IBIG is 100 pesos, very minimal. So, initially, we wanted 6 months sana, but of course, there were some comments, suggestions from NGO group and from other sectors na bakit daw 6 months, pwede daw bang we just stick to the minimum and let the member decide kung gusto niya magbayad ng more than 100 or to advance payment, mag-advance ng kanyang membership payment. But apparently, kami rin na surprised because kahit 100 pesos lang ang minimum savings, we were surprised na karamihan sa ating mga OFW members are saving more than 100 pesos. In fact, the average savings about 2,200 pesos a month. So pati kami nagulat, meaning na nakita na rin ng aming mga miyembro, ng ating mga OFWs, yung kagandahan ng pagiging miyembro ng Pag-IBIG. The benefits that they will get from it, of course, the savings and the loan benefits. So ngayon, we are very happy with our partnership with POEA and with other government agencies because we have brought Pag-IBIG Fund membership closer to our OFW members, not only in the Philippines but abroad, because you know, meron tayong mga overseas labor offices abroad.
From 2010 to 2013, the Philippines was hit by some of the strongest typhoons. Responding to the pressing need for a more pronounced humanitarian aid during those times of dire straits, in July 2012, Pag-IBIG slashed the interest rate of its calamity loans by almost half. Pag-IBIG's calamity loan now carries an interest rate of only 5.95% compared to the previous rate of 10.75%. But Pag-IBIG, as usual, did not stop there. The fund ran the extra mile just to make sure that the victims would never feel that they are all alone in this battle. A significant part of Mindanao was ravaged to the ground by the destructive typhoons Sendong and Pablo. Even employees of the Pag-IBIG Fund there were not spared from the devastation. But this did not stop them from working for the typhoon victims.
Nung nangyari yung Sendong, we have around 20 personnels, more than 20 personnels na affected, directly affected sa calamity, ano. And then the day immediately after the calamity, it was a Sunday, pumunta kami lahat dito sa office to strategize kung anong gagawin ng grupo. So gumawa kami ng mga teams, meron kaming team for relief operations, and then on the side sa servicing naman sa members, gumawa kami ng task force para sa calamity loans, and then yung mga appraisers din namin on that day lumabas to verify, to check kung gaano kalaki yung damage sa mga units na nakamortgage sa atin. Gumawa kami ng task force, dinagdagan namin yung counters para mapabilis yung receiving ng mga applications for calamity loans. Sa processing side naman, nag-request kami ng tulong from other branches, and yes, nagpadala sila ng maraming tao, kaya yung operation namin sa processing nagiging 24 hours. May night shift din kami doon .
Coincidentally, two couples, all victims of Typhoon Sendong and Pablo, were also beneficiaries of the I Do raffle promo. This is an innovative marketing strategy by Pag-IBIG that was recently awarded the 2013 Philippine Quill Award for Government Communication Program by the International Association of Business Communicators, Philippines.
Hindi namin akalain na kami nanalo kasi Masaya na kami na nagpakasal kami sa asawa ko na malaki talaga ang tulong ang Pag-IBIG Fund sa amin dahil nabago nila ang buhay namin.
Nagpasalamat po mi dako ma'am kay kami po ang nakakuha sa house and lot kay wala ni balay. Na ang trabahoan po sa akong bana igura po sa akong pagkaon. Isa mong anak, pasalamat gid mi dako ma'am kay nakadaog mi anang house and lot. O pasalamat pud mi kang Binay sa iyang gihatag na house and lot sa amo ug sa ilang Ma'am Lyra.
The Pag-IBIG practice of doing more than what is expected of them made a lasting mark on the people of Mindanao. The Calamity Loan Program especially is now one of the biggest sources of hope for people affected by disasters.
The Calamity Loan Program of Pag-IBIG is, I should say that our members have they already are very familiar with this, and because the fact that when you must have noticed that upon right after the occurrence of the Yolanda devastation in Tacloban, it appeared in the national dailies that the president has declared a national calamity. The following day, a lot of people were already calling here if we could already process calamity loans, when in fact it should already what was really meant was it was for Tacloban. It's just an indication that the calamity loans that we are extending to our members is already institutionalized. Because whenever there are calamities and there are declarations of calamities, our members will immediately go to our offices and apply and ask if we can already accept calamity loan applications.
The Pag-IBIG Calamity Loan is for all active members whose places of residence have been placed under a state of calamity. And because of its relevance to recent tragedies, it has become one of the most well-received and appreciated programs of the Pag-IBIG Fund. The years 2010 to 2013 have been both productive and revolutionary for the Pag-IBIG Fund. From its uncertain beginnings and through all its ups and downs, the fund has managed to evolve beautifully. Truly, a Pag-IBIG Fund that is bigger, better, and faster.